All right, so you catch a ball at home plate and you go down to make the tag. I bet you that you don't do this with the glove and scoop or cup your lead wrist. You probably use a motion that is exactly what you should be doing in your golf swing to create lag, to create shaft lean, and hit it really daggone consistent, just like the pros. Now I'm gonna show you how to use this baseball glove drill, and once you learn it, it's gonna make it so easy. You probably just didn't realize this is what's supposed to be going, or the feeling that's supposed to be going on in your golf swing. And the best part about it, you already know how to do this. Now the second thing I'm gonna go over is some players struggle with their left hand, and pairing it up with the right hand makes it that much easier. I'm gonna show you this exact same motion on how we get a top spin ping pong or table tennis paddle top spin forehand with that. So let's go and get started here. Now I'm gonna grab a 7-iron and let's talk about what the pros are doing. And there's one thing that basically you can work on a lot of things in your golf swing. You could practice for hours and hours, take hundreds of lessons. If you don't get this right, you're simply just not gonna hit the ball consistently and solid like the pros. And what I mean by this is last parallel, or when the club shaft is parallel to the ground for the last time in the golf swing before impact, the hand should be roughly in front of the right leg. And if we're looking from down the line here, the hand should be slightly to the inside. So the club shaft should be slightly to the inside. So if this is my target line, going toward this target in the distance, I want my club shaft not to be on that target line, but slightly in. So that's that motion here. Now that feels really similar to if I have a baseball glove on to go down and swipe the person out. And let me show you what I mean by that. So I've just caught this baseball. I'm gonna tag somebody out at home plate. I'm gonna tag somebody that's sliding into the base. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna lead as though I'm gonna swipe the ground. I'm not gonna flick my wrist or cut my wrist like that. I'm gonna let my wrist lag behind and I'm gonna brush the ground with the back of the glove. That's how everybody would naturally do it because of the shape of the baseball mitt. Now that same thing is happening in a golf swing. Let me just go ahead and take my right hand, put it inside the baseball mitt here, and the same thing. So I'm gonna brush this ground, back of my wrist down toward the ground, club lagging behind. That's exactly what will be happening as we're doing that. So in order to do this, naturally, you would open your body as you tag this person out. You just simply don't have to bend down as much when you're making a golf swing. You just open your body. If I'm looking at this mitt, I don't want it to be out here or steeper as I'm making a golf swing. I want that to be lagging from the inside like we just talked about. And as I brush that from the inside, I'm gonna naturally rotate my body open and it's gonna get everything to swing on through under its own momentum. So having this feeling is very, very similar, if not identical, to what a golf swing should be. Now, like I said, left-handed is a little bit tougher for some players than being right-handed. So all we're gonna do if we're right-handed is go ahead and if you have a table tennis paddle, if you don't have one, whatever, that's fine, to grab something that's flat that you can hold like this. You can even grab a book by its side like that, and that'll work fine. Now if I'm hitting a top spin forehand in table tennis, again, my body opens up, my arm starts to swing forward, but I can't let the tip of the paddle flip or flick past or scoop past my hands. I'm gonna naturally let it lag behind so that I can hit that top spin type motion. And now if you've played much tennis, I play a lot of tennis or table tennis, you'll know that you have to let the tip of the racket lag down below the handle of the racket. So this would be level with the ground. This would be the tip of the racket above the handle of the racket. This would be the tip of the racket lagging down below the handle of the racket. So if I'm coming from down the line here, as I let this lag behind, I'm almost gonna feel like the red pad of this table tennis. So if I'm setting up, the red pad will be toward the target. I'm gonna feel like that red pad faces down at the ball and it's from the inside. And from there, I have to let the tip of the racket go down this way. I don't wanna feel like I scoop it that way and get it above my hand. Same thing in the golf swing. I'm letting this club lag behind with my right hand and I'm letting it drop from the inside rather than feeling like I stand up and flip it this way. So I feel like it lags behind. What would be the paddle would be toward the golf ball. Everything would be from the inside and I just let that stay down from the inside as I'm coming through there. So if you put both those pieces together, you now have the left hand swiping to get someone out. If you're swiping somebody out in baseball with a glove, you have that racket or that paddle lagging behind with the right hand, And you can see what this is really doing is allowing my body to rotate through and the club to lag behind and be really, really consistent. Now, a big key with this is the follow through in a specific way that I want you to do these drills on the follow through. So let's go ahead and hit a couple shots here. And as you finish this little half swing, halfway back, do the same motions we just talked about. But as you finish, I want you to never let the club head go past your hands, or if we had that paddle, for that to kick up above the hands, the tip of the paddle. I don't want to do this and let that fold back up. I want to exaggerate and keep the head of the club below the hands. And I want to see how far I can hit a shot doing it that way. So when I first start out, I have a little 7-iron here. Let me do a little half drill and we'll try it out. All right, so I didn't get the club head past the hands. I try to keep it down here. I only hit it 70 yards. As I get more and more comfortable with those hands being passive, I'm just simply going to ramp up the speed a little bit. Again, making sure it's coming from the inside, letting the body open up, and really feeling like the head stays below the hands. There we go, and that was a great one. I got 120 yards just finishing here. Again, the head of the club below my hands. That's going to keep any of that wrist action, that flippy scoopiness out of the swing, and better yet, it's going to keep you from chunking behind the golf ball. You see, if I'm hitting behind this golf ball, or I put another ball on the tee here, or on the mat, if I'm hitting behind it, I'm throwing those hands. This is rotating the body, letting the hands trail behind, letting the club head trail behind, and it's staying below them. So let's see how far I can go full speed here, never letting that club pass the hands on the way through. It's that pure baseball swipe type motion. There we go. That's about as good as I'm going to do. 142 yards, a little half follow through. And again, you don't have to throw it with the hands to get a ton of speed. Now, one thing that can make all this go down the drain and kill everything that we're working on here is if we start down really steep. You see, if I start down steep and then I drag everything through, it's just going to be an over-the-top, kind of wipey, weak fade, maybe even a slice with that kind of clunky divot that's not very solid. What I have to do is I have to shallow this club out from the inside if I want to make this happen. Now, there's a motion that I call ringing the bell that you definitely don't want to do. And I'm going to show you a video that gets rid of this kind of pulling down, ringing the bell, steep club shaft like that. I'm going to play a preview of that video here in just 1 second. All you need to do to see the full thing is go ahead and click on one of the cards that pops up on your screen. If you don't see one of those cards, go down to the link below in the description and you'll get instant access to that video. We'll get rid of that steep start to the downswing, get you shallowed out from the inside, and then from there, it's easy to get this club from this inside delivery. It's easy to swipe the person out through contact and to stop that scooping and flipping through the hitting zone. Let's go and get started. The bottom line is that if you pull this club down to ring that bell or pull the hands more from the inside, what's going to happen is you start to rush your downswing from that pulling, and that can throw off your sequence. And we all know that once your sequence gets off, that is going to be the root cause of all your problems. Now, maybe you're being outdriven way too often, or you're terribly inconsistent with your strikes. Some of your shots are heavy, some of them are thin, some of them are off the toe, and then the next ones are way off the heel. Now you end up way over in the trees, you're in the tall grass, or maybe even the hazards all day long, and it really comes down to this. Clay, how in the heck do we fix it? Well, there's some good news. Well, there's only two things that you need to learn. First, you need to learn to shallow the club rather than pulling the hands down and getting the shaft in this steep position. You see, there's another way that the pros do this, and once you start to get that club on this shallower plane, more from the inside, then you pair that up with the right way to square the club face. And once you put these two things together, everything starts to fit in your swing. Now, your buddies will start to get a little bit jealous because you'll start hitting solid, longer drives, time after time, and round after round. Now, I'm going to teach you this right now on what I call the E-slot technique. Let's walk through exactly how to do it. So here's what I want you to do. Go ahead and take a swing to the top and get in a really good position. I want you to feel like your weight is mostly shifted to your right side and that your hips and shoulders are nice and free. I don't want to be locked up here. I want my knees to move, my hips to move. And that's going to allow me to swing my shoulders very nicely. Now, one thing that most people get wrong when they swing to the top is they don't get this tilt away from the target. So instead of being straight up and down or leaning to the left, I want to be slightly tilted away in what I call the stable fluid spine in my top speed golf system. Okay, so now that you're at this great position at the top of the swing, what I want you to do is instead of pulling those arms straight down or ringing the bell, that's going to get the club shaft steep and get this elbow kind of flapping behind your body. I want you to do something very specific. I want you to take the tip of your elbow and move it in a specific way. Now, not this small bone on the inside of your elbow, but I want it to be right here at the tip, and here's what I want you to do.